In the world of military aviation, some aircraft are more than just machines. They are symbols of strategy, deterrence, and raw power. When we think of Western dominance in the skies, names like the F-15, F-22, or F-35 immediately come to mind. But in the East, the Soviet Union had its own answer. A beast designed not for close-in dogfights, but to hunt intruders at incredible speeds across vast frontiers. That aircraft is the MiG-31 Foxhound. Imagine a jet so fast it could chase down reconnaissance aircraft like the state Route 71 Blackbird, detect targets hundreds of kilometers away, and destroy them before they even knew what hit them. A machine so heavily armed and powerful that, decades after its introduction, it still has no true replacement in Russia's arsenal. But here's the big question. Is the MiG-31 simply a Cold War relic kept alive for lack of alternatives? Or is it still one of the most formidable interceptors ever built, even in an age of stealth fighters and drones? In today's video, we'll uncover the full story of the MiG-31, its origins, design, specifications, weapons, and real-world role. We'll weigh its strengths and weaknesses, compare it to Western rivals, and finally ask, does the Foxhound still dominate the skies, nearly half a century after it first took flight? The MiG-31 was born out of necessity. In the late 1960s, the Soviet Union relied heavily on the MiG-25 Foxbat, a jet that stunned the West with blistering speeds above Mach 3 and extreme altitude performance. But the Foxbat had serious flaws. It guzzled fuel, was clumsy at low altitude, and nearly useless in close combat. It was a sprinter, not a fighter. Recognizing these limitations, Soviet designers sought a successor. The goal? Create a long-range interceptor capable of destroying cruise missiles, strategic bombers, and even reconnaissance aircraft before they could threaten Soviet territory. The program began with the Yi-155 megapixels prototype, which first flew on September 16, 1975. While outwardly similar to the MiG-25, the new jet was a significant evolution. A stretched fuselage to house 2 crew members, greater use of titanium and aluminum alloys, stronger wings, and new engines. Most importantly, it would carry the revolutionary Zaslon radar, the first airborne phased array radar ever fitted to a fighter. This gave the MiG-31 unmatched ability to detect and track multiple targets at once, a game changer for the era. By 1979, mass production began, and in 1982 the MiG-31 officially entered service with the Soviet Air Defense Forces. NATO codenamed it Foxhound, reflecting its role as a relentless hunter of intruders. Despite economic troubles after the Soviet collapse, Russia has continued to operate and upgrade the MiG-31. Nearly 500 were built, and hundreds remain in service today, making it one of the longest-serving interceptors in history. At first glance, the MiG-31 looks like a larger, heavier MiG-25. But beneath the skin, the changes were dramatic. The aircraft features twin Soloviev D-30F6 afterburning turbofan engines, each capable of 34,000 pounds of thrust. These powerful engines allow sustained supersonic speeds, Mach 2.35 without afterburner, and up to Mach 2.83 with full thrust. Few aircraft in history can cruise supersonically like this without rapidly burning out their engines. The airframe itself was strengthened to withstand high-speed flight at low altitudes, where turbulence and aerodynamic stress are punishing. Engineers used titanium in critical areas, and the design tolerates up to 5 grams of stress even at supersonic speeds. Unlike the single-seat MiG-25, the MiG-31 has 2 crew members, a pilot in front and a weapons systems officer behind. This division of labor proved crucial, as managing the radar and long-range weapons required constant attention. The true crown jewel, however, is the N007 Zaslon radar. When it debuted, it shocked the West. Capable of tracking 10 targets and engaging 4 simultaneously, with a detection range of up to 200 kilometers, it was decades ahead of its time. Modernized versions, the Zaslon M, can detect large aircraft like a WACS at ranges over 400 kilometers. The cockpit has also evolved. Early versions had analog gauges, but upgraded MiG-31BM models now feature multi-function LCD displays, HOTAS controls, and digital data links. This allows 4 MiG-31s to share target information, effectively creating a flying air defense network covering nearly 800 by 900 kilometers of airspace. The Foxhound was never meant for dogfights. Its design philosophy is clear: intercept intruders fast, destroy them from afar, and vanish before enemy fighters can react. Let's break down the raw numbers that make the MiG-31 a legend. Crew, 2. Pilot and weapons officer, length, 22.7 meters, 74 feet 5 inches, wingspan, 13.5 meters, 44 feet 2 inches, height, 6.15 meters, 20 feet 2 inches, wing area, 61.6 square meters, weight, empty, 21,820 kilograms, 48,100 pounds, max takeoff, 46,200 kilograms, 101,900 pounds. Engines, 2x Solar VFD-30F6 turbofans, thrust, 93 kilonewtons dry, 152 kilonewtons with afterburner each. Performance, maximum speed, Mach 2.83 at altitude, approximately equals 3,000 kilometers per hour. Combat radius, 720 kilometers at Mach 2.35, ferry range, 3,300 kilometers with external tanks, service ceiling, 20,600 meters, 67,600 feet, rate of climb, 208 meters per second, 41,000 feet per minute. Max G limit, 5 grams at supersonic speed. Armament capacity, up to 12,000 kilograms of ordnance. In other words, the MiG-31 is massive. Its maximum takeoff weight rivals that of small commercial airliners and even some tanks. It's not nimble, but it doesn't need to be. The Foxhound excels in straight-line speed, altitude, and endurance. Few fighters in the world can sprint as fast, climb as high, or patrol such vast distances without refueling. For a country like Russia, with enormous borders stretching across the Arctic and Siberia, this capability is invaluable. If speed and radar give the MiG-31 its eyes and legs, weapons give it its teeth. The primary armament is the R-33 long-range missile, NATO, R-9 Amos. Comparable to the US AIM-54 Phoenix, the R-33 can strike targets up to 120 kilometers away, guided by inertial navigation and semi-active radar homing. Typically, 4 R-33s are carried under the fuselage. Later upgrades introduced the R-37 and R-37M missiles. With ranges reported up to 300 to 400 kilometers, these are among the longest-reaching air-to-air weapons in existence. In tests, an R-37 hit a target at 300 kilometers, an unprecedented achievement. For shorter ranges, the MiG-31 can carry R-40, AA-6 Acrid, medium-range missiles, R-60, R-8 Aphid, or R-73, AA-11 Archer. Infrared missiles, modernized jets now field the R-77, R-12 Adder, similar to the US AIM-120 AMRAAM. Some versions even integrate anti-radiation missiles like the Kh-31P, allowing the MiG-31 to suppress enemy air defenses. Unlike its predecessor, the MiG-31 also mounts an internal 23mm GSH-6-23 rotary cannon with 260 rounds, capable of 10,000 rounds per minute. While rarely used, it provides backup firepower. Perhaps the most dramatic upgrade came with the MiG-31K, modified to carry the Kh-47M2 Kinzhal hypersonic missile. With a reported speed of Mach 10 and a range exceeding 2,000 kilometers, Kinzhal can strike land or naval targets with near unstoppable power. No other interceptor in the world carries such a weapon. In short, the Foxhound's arsenal has evolved from bomber killers to strategic strike platforms, making it more versatile than ever. Since its introduction in the early 1980s, the MiG-31 has served primarily with the Soviet, and later Russian, air defense forces. Its role was clear: defend vast frontiers against intruding bombers, reconnaissance planes, and cruise missiles. During the Cold War, MiG-31 squadrons patrolled Arctic airspace, often intercepting NATO aircraft. They became the only Soviet fighters capable of threatening the state Route 71 Blackbird, forcing American pilots to constantly monitor Foxhound deployments. After the Soviet collapse, financial troubles grounded many aircraft. By the mid-1990s, only about 20% were flightworthy. But in the 2000s, Russian investment restored much of the fleet. Today, around 280 MiG-31s remain in Russian service, with about 100 in storage. Kazakhstan also operates around 30. Foxhounds have frequently been scrambled to escort or intercept Western aircraft near Russian airspace. In April 2016, for example, a MiG-31 intercepted a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon over the Kamchatka region at a distance of just 15 meters. Beyond air defense, new roles emerged. The MiG-31K, armed with Kinzhal missiles, has been deployed in the Ukraine conflict, reportedly striking targets deep behind front lines. Other variants, like the MiG-31D, were tested for anti-satellite missions. Unlike multi-role fighters, the MiG-31 is a specialist. Yet in Russia's doctrine, protecting a massive homeland, it remains indispensable. No Western Air Force operates a direct equivalent. Strengths: speed and altitude. Few jets can match the MiG-31's Mach 2.8+ performance and 20 km ceiling. Radar: when introduced, Zaslon was revolutionary. Even today, upgraded versions remain powerful. Range: with a 3,000 km ferry range, the Foxhound can patrol enormous distances without tankers. Weapons: long-range missiles like the SR-71 and hypersonic Kinzhal give it unparalleled strike reach. Network defense: a formation of MiG-31s can share radar data, covering almost an entire country's airspace. Weaknesses: maneuverability: at nearly 46 tons, the MiG-31 is heavy and lacks agility. In close dogfights, it's at a severe disadvantage. Radar signature: its large size and design mean it is far from stealthy. Modern fighters with low RCS have an edge. Cost and maintenance: complex systems and powerful engines make it expensive to operate. Many airframes require constant upgrades. Changing warfare: modern conflicts often demand multi-role fighters for strike, support, and patrol missions. The MiG-31's specialization in interception limits its export appeal. In summary, the MiG-31 is a fearsome interceptor but not a versatile workhorse. It thrives in Russia's unique context, vast borders and strategic defense, but would be less practical for smaller nations. How does the MiG-31 stack up against its Western and Eastern rivals? F-15 Eagle, USA, introduced around the same era, the F-15 is lighter, more maneuverable, and multi-role. However, it cannot match the MiG-31's speed, altitude, or radar range. The Foxhound is superior as an interceptor. The Eagle excels in air superiority. F-22 Raptor, USA, with stealth, supercruise, and extreme agility, the F-22 is unmatched in dogfights. But it carries fewer long-range missiles, and its detection range, while excellent, does not radically outclass the MiG-31's upgraded radar. In a beyond visual range engagement, both pose deadly threats. F-35 Lightning II, USA, designed for stealth and network warfare, the F-35 is slower, Mach 1.6 max, and has shorter range. Against the MiG-31, it would rely on stealth and electronic warfare to survive. Chengdu J-20, China. China's stealth fighter emphasizes long-range missiles, similar in concept to the MiG-31. However, the J-20's stealth design gives it survivability that the Foxhound lacks. Su-35, Russia. Interestingly, Russia's own Su-35 is more agile and multi-role, but it cannot match the Foxhound's raw speed and specialized interception ability. The verdict: the MiG-31 remains unique. No other jet combines extreme speed, high altitude, and ultra-long-range weapons in the same way. While it lacks stealth and agility, it fulfills a role that even modern fighters cannot completely replace. So, after nearly 50 years, what can we say about the MiG-31? It was never meant to be a nimble dogfighter or a stealthy infiltrator. Instead, it was built to guard the skies of the largest country on Earth, hunting intruders with unmatched speed and radar reach. From its debut in the Cold War to its modern role carrying hypersonic missiles, the Foxhound has consistently adapted, proving its worth across generations of warfare. Of course, it's not perfect. Against stealth fighters or in close-range combat, the MiG-31 would struggle. Its size and cost limit its appeal outside Russia and Kazakhstan. Yet for what it was designed to do, intercept threats across vast distances, it remains unmatched. Perhaps the best way to understand the MiG-31 is this: it's not a dog in the fight, it's the wolf guarding the perimeter. And in that role, it may remain relevant well into the 21st century. So, what do you think? Is the MiG-31 still one of the deadliest interceptors in the skies today? Or is it just a relic of Cold War strategy? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the fastest and most powerful fighters ever built, don't forget to hit like, share this video with friends, and subscribe for more stories on military aviation and defense technology. The Foxhound may not be stealthy, but its legend still echoes across the skies.